Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a look outside our weather window on this Monday. And boy, why couldn't the weekend been like today, right? We had clouds and lots of rain shower activity over the weekend, kind of cool temperatures today, nice and mild with some sunshine out there, even though it was a little bit breezy to even windy at times today. And with all the rain and now warmer temperatures in our forecast, we're keeping our eye on some high running rivers, especially in our area, north central Washington. We're talking the Okanagan River as well as the Stehekin River, both running very high right now. And that water is cold right now because we haven't had that much warm weather, but warm weather days are ahead, and we'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. Now, a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Brewster man was killed in a two-car accident Friday afternoon just outside of Bridgeport. A two-vehicle collision Sunday north of Arando left an SUV on its side, but the occupants were not injured. When a 17-year-old boy posted a video on Snapchat of himself with a gun last week, he made the misfortunate mistake of being recognized by Moses Lake detectives. And a person who rolled their vehicle on South Chelan Avenue near Kashmir Valley Bank Friday night in Wenatchee was uninjured but arrested for drunken driving. But first, our top story tonight. A man who was shot and killed by Wenatchee police Saturday afternoon was apparently armed with a knife. Sergeant Jason Reinfeld of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office said two separate times less lethal attempts to subdue the suspect were deployed before the fatal shooting. Reinfeld represents the North Central Washington Special Investigation Unit, which is made up of representatives from 6 local law enforcement agencies and investigates officer-involved shootings. The shooting took place about 3:45 Saturday afternoon in the 200 block of Southwestern Avenue in Wenatchee after police received a report of a burglary in the 400 block of Castleview Place. Law enforcement has not yet identified the man who was shot or any officers involved in the shooting. Reinfeld said the man fled on foot prior to the officers' arrival, but was soon seen on Southwestern Avenue where officers confronted him. The Special Investigation Unit is asking the public who may have video of the incident or the events leading up to the shooting to contact the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. A Brewster man was killed in a two-car accident Friday afternoon just outside of Bridgeport. The Washington State Patrol reports that shortly after 4 p.m., a 1999 Mazda Protege was attempting to turn left onto Jack Wells Road from State Route 17 when the Mazda was struck from behind by a 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan. A passenger in the Mazda, 22-year-old Martin Aguilar Chavez, was pronounced dead at the scene. Another passenger, 33-year-old Eduardo Cecido Tanaco of Brewster, was airlifted to Central Washington Hospital with serious injuries. The driver and another passenger in that Mazda were transported to Three Rivers Hospital in Brewster with unknown injuries. The driver of the caravan, 48-year-old Tanya L. Turner of Omak, was also transported to Three Rivers Hospital. Charges against Turner are pending. Well, a two-vehicle collision Sunday north of Arando left an SUV on its side, but the occupants were not injured. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office said neither the driver nor a passenger in the other vehicle, a Honda Civic that hit the Ford Excursion, were injured, and those occupants apparently fled on foot. The Arando Firefighters Association said a witness reported that the Civic ran a stop sign at the intersection of Brays Landing and Lucky Badger Roads and then hit the Excursion just before 4 p.m. Douglas County Undersheriff Tyler Calley said the Civic was abandoned a short distance from the scene after apparently an attempt was made to drive away. He said they have located the passenger and are now looking for that driver. Well, when a 17-year-old boy posted a video on Snapchat of himself with a gun last week, he had the misfortune of being recognized by Moses Lake detectives. Also recognized was his location. The Moses Lake Police Department said because of the juvenile's criminal history and known gang affiliations, police were able to obtain a warrant and arrest him last Thursday without incident at a residence in the 700 block of A Street. Police said they also seized the 9mm firearm shown in that Snapchat video. The teen was booked into the Martin Hall Juvenile Facility on charges of unlawful possession of a firearm. The department said police regularly monitor social media for evidence of criminal behavior. And as we take you to break, a person who rolled their vehicle on South Chelan Avenue near Kashmir Valley Bank Friday night in Wenatchee was uninjured but arrested for drunken driving. The Wenatchee Police Department said shortly before 10 p.m. they received a report of a vehicle being driven erratically on South Chelan Avenue. The car reportedly left the roadway between Arando Avenue and Yakima Street, hit a tree, and rolled. Chelan Avenue was shut down for more than an hour while police investigated. Well, when we come back, an intense thunderstorm that tore through the Wenatchee Valley early Sunday afternoon caused flash flooding in some areas and knocked out power to thousands. One place weekend flooding didn't cause disruption was below Slide Ridge, the mudslide-prone area on South Lakeshore Road along Lake Chelan. The State Department of Fish and Wildlife may decide this week to take ownership of Grant County land it's been managing since 1975. And North Central Washington has an official new viticultural area, a designation that helps winemakers to brand and source their vintages. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
You are driven to succeed. This drive is part of who you are, part of your cultura, your valores. With achievement comes a sense of orgullo. It builds your community. You stand on the shoulders of those who have walked before you, the ones who pushed you to succeed. You have the choice to overcome the challenges that arise in your life. You decide your future. Sí se puede.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Welcome back. In another news, an intense thunderstorm that tore through the Wenatchee Valley early yesterday afternoon caused flash flooding in some areas and knocked out power to thousands. Among the areas hit by flooding was Wenatchee's number 1 canyon, where ditches overflowed onto the roadway, sending a torrent of water down the canyon. Chelan County Public Works closed both number 1 Canyon Road and number 2 Canyon Road to the public for several hours while crews worked to remove mud and debris from the roadways. Also, late this afternoon, Chelan County Public Works said both number 1 and number 2 Canyon Roads will remain closed through the week to residents only. Also, there were reports yesterday of a brief closure on parts of Highway 97A after rocks and mud came down on the highway. Chelan County PUD reported several outages in the area involving more than 6,000 customers between 1 and 2 p.m. Then, just after 2:20 p.m., the PUD reported power had been restored to most customers. Well, luckily, one place weekend flooding did not cause disruption was below Slide Ridge, the mudslide-prone area on South Lakeshore Road along Lake Chelan. Chelan County installed a $3.2 million bridge and culvert last year, and yesterday, rainfall and debris began flowing under the bridge for the first time rather than across the roadway. In the past, storms have washed out the road and forced lengthy closures at least one time per year. Well, in other news, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife may decide this week to take ownership of Grant County land, and it's been managing since 1975. The agency holds a lease on 129 acres along Martha Lake near George, where it manages parking and water access for anglers. If approved by the Fish and Wildlife Commission on Friday, the agency would buy the land outright for $379,000 from the State Department of Transportation. You can tune into that meeting via Zoom starting at 8 a.m. on Friday with a link available through the agency's website. Well, North Central Washington has an official new viticulture area. That's a designation that helps winemakers to brand and source their vintages. The Rocky Reach American Viticultural Area is 50 square miles on both sides of the Columbia River. It's located between Chelan Falls and Wenatchee. It encompasses the communities of Arando and Eniat and includes about 117 acres that are currently producing wine grapes. The region is the 20th AVA approved in Washington by the U.S. Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. Other viticultural areas nearby include Lake Chelan, Ancient Lakes, and Royal Slope. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Confluence Health in Wenatchee reported last week that 10 people were under care for COVID-19 at Central Washington Hospital. That's the highest number of COVID patients since early March, and it reflects growing numbers seen at care centers throughout the state. In tonight's feature story, doctors and officials with the Washington State Hospital Association says the pandemic has not gone away and protective steps like masking and vaccination are still strongly encouraged.
So at the end of last week, we reached almost 600 COVID cases in our hospitals across the state. There were about 75 more people that were suspected of having COVID, but not yet confirmed. That means their tests just haven't gotten back yet, but their symptoms suggested that they had COVID. And that is an increase of about 10% from the prior week of COVID hospitalizations, which is a pretty big growth. In April, there were about 230 hospitalizations per day, for COVID on average over the month of April. And so that's pretty significant growth. Even 230 still felt like it was significant, but to be more than double that now is worrisome. But it's also way below the peak that we had in early February, which was 1,700 people hospitalized with COVID in our state. And that was the biggest stress in the system that we've seen.
But the good news part of things is that overall, as an entire state, it looks like the cases potentially are plateauing, with cases either at the same level or even slightly decreased. And I'm speaking specifically of hospitalizations of COVID patients, the same or decreasing in such key areas as Clark County, King County, and Snohomish counties. However, they continue to rise in other populated and significant areas such as Pierce and Skagit, and Spokane and Benton counties at variable rates. The number one issue facing our healthcare system now remains, as everyone's heard before, the inability of our patients to be able to transition to that post-acute care setting, such as a skilled nursing facility or a nursing home, once their need for a hospital has ended. And so that part of our healthcare continuum, and we are certainly a continuum, the post-acute care part of it just remains remarkably strained, which in turn puts significant stress on our hospitals throughout the state.
Take a look now at your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. It was a rainy one. Let's get right to that first. 77 hundredths of an inch of moisture, and that goes back to that very first rain we had Thursday evening. Then, of course, some rain Friday, big rain Saturday morning, and that big thunderstorm yesterday, now at 4.78 inches. High today, 72, a few degrees below where we should be for this time of year. Our low also a few degrees below where we should be at 48, 53 is our normal low temperature. Let's take a look now what we can expect as we get you into your Tuesday. Temperatures on their way up as we get into the midweek part of this work week. 78 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 77 for Quincy tomorrow, Wenatchee 75, Cashmere 74, and then a little cooler as we get you up into the upper elevations of the Cascades. Tonight we can expect clear skies, a little bit breezy still. We saw plenty of that today. Low temperatures in the upper 40s, and there's our next storm system. We're not even going to talk about that for a bit. For Tuesday, partly cloudy skies as a first wave of clouds begin to roll our way from that storm. We'll see a nice one though, as we just showed you, highs in the mid, maybe even upper 70s for our area. And then on Wednesday, partly cloudy, still a little bit of a ridge hanging on up and over the Pacific Northwest, and that'll make for a decent day once again. Wednesday's highs in the mid 70s. For your Thursday weather, mostly cloudy. The low slides a little bit to the north and then buckles our high pressure ridge, and that'll bring some more clouds in. So expect some showers, not so much during the day, but as we get into the evening there, that moisture field becomes a little more evident in our area. For Friday, we can expect mostly cloudy skies. We do expect afternoon rain showers on Friday, once again from that persistent low off the coast. The good news is it's going to stay mild with high temperatures Friday in the mid 70s. And then for Saturday, morning rain showers becoming mostly cloudy as those showers move into the panhandle of Idaho. Might even see some sunshine on Saturday with highs once again in the mid 70s. So not terrible as we kick off our weekend. And then for Sunday, high pressure begins to build back in. It will be a little cool on Sunday, a little bit of a northwesterly flow coming in our way. And that means high temperatures about 70 degrees for Sunday, and things as we cast Sunday look very, very nice in our area. Monday, tonight, 48 degrees for the overnight low, so a little bit cool once again. 75 for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Even better for Thursday, but that's where that rain comes into play. We'll see evening showers on Thursday and 77. 74 degrees Friday, 75 for Saturday with a few morning showers, and then partly cloudy and sunny with cooler temperatures Sunday, high temperature of 71. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz or Eric Granstrom, I should say, and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Attention RVers and campers. There's a huge RV liquidation event going on now at Click It RV of Moses Lake. Click It RV of Moses Lake must make room for new inventory arriving daily. There's a huge selection of top quality RVs that must be liquidated to make room for new arrivals.
You're going to want to be at this event.
Get to Click It RV Moses Lake's huge liquidation event.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro? You probably already are.
Get the best deals anywhere at Click It RV of Moses Lake.
We guarantee it.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. Thanks to Dan for filling in for me last week. And yes, I am not a very good golfer, that is for sure. Well, the Mariners rallied for 3 runs in the 9th inning to tie it and beat Texas on a wild pitch in the 10th yesterday. Ty France started the rally with a solo home run at the top of the 9th inning. After back-to-back singles by Julio Rodriguez and J.P. Crawford, Eugenio Suarez tied the game with a 2-run double. That led to the wild pitch walk in the 10th that allowed Abraham Toro to score the winning run. Don't look now, but the Mariners have won 3 straight series.
High fly ball, Calhoun giving chase. It's gone. That's a good way to break it. 8th home run. 5-3 ball game. Ty France, opposite field. We talk about it so much, his ability to hit the ball the other way, and this time with big-time authority, pick up a run. Here you go. They give him the right side of the infield as per usual. First pitch. Going to town. Look at this. Julio's going to score. JP's flying. Gino to second. They're going to wave him. Here's a throw to the plate. It is not in time. Eugenio Suarez. And the Mariners have tied it up in the 9th inning. Have a day, Gino. Driven in 4, and the Mariners 4 consecutive hits here in the 9th.
And he hits the baseball hard again, going the other way, 94 miles an hour. JP picks it up right away, and then he's off to the races.
Gets away. Here comes Toro. Here comes Toro, and he scores standing up. 6-5 Mariners here in the 10th. I should have had that all the way. Mariners will take it.
Now they get a break, take advantage. Burke hasn't been close in this at-bat either.
Scores standing up. Yeah, pass ball. The bottom of the 10th upper run. Popped it up. Playable. Cal. He's there. He's got it. And the Mariners win 6-5. They take this series.
You consider that they were down 3 runs and score those 3 runs in the 9th inning to put it into extra innings, get the run, and then turn it over to Paul Sewald to put things away. What a nice way to go. Mariners now win 3 series in a row. Tough series coming up in Houston. Nice win.
Yeah, manager Scott Service says great to have a guy like Suarez in the lineup and to bank on some good pitching.
It seems like in this ballpark we always play crazy games. It gets crazy late in the game, and credit to our guys, no quit. We did not quit today. We certainly could have. We win our 3rd series in a row. Got some big hits late. Finally, they came, and we had the right guy up at the right time. Obviously, Gino had a great game today, getting the big hit at the end, but a lot of guys stood up. Thought it's one of the best games Dylan Moore has played, maybe all year, in a couple years. Really good at bats. Got things going. The guys at the bottom of the lineup we talked about before the game going to get a chance today. We needed them to step up. Everybody's got to chip in. Hagerty had a couple hits. Demo gets 3 hits, and say all that, and George Kirby. Pretty good for a rookie. He keeps plugging along, threw the ball outstanding. I think after the second home run, he gave up the home run he gave up to Simeon. He shut him down. It was like got through 4 innings and about 43 pitches, and just took command of the game from there to keep us right there and give us a shot. And, it's nice to have the Diego Castillo back again. I think that's his 3rd or 4th really quality outing, and we've needed him. So again, one of those nice come from behind. Everybody chips in, feel good about it, win, and you needed it to happen today. And didn't look so great, but again, I give our guys a ton of credit. They did not quit.
Yeah, I think the Rangers were tearing down the locker room while they were finishing up there. Diego Castillo pitched a scoreless ninth for the win, while Paul Sewald shut down the Rangers in the 10th for his fourth save. Seattle now moves on to Houston to face the first-place Astros today. That game just getting underway on Root Sports Northwest. Well, Houston keeps winning. Angels keep losing. Taking a look at the American League West standings, Bryson Stott's 3-run home run at the bottom of the ninth gave Philadelphia a walk-off win over L.A. 9-7. It was the Angels' 11th straight loss. Yordan Alvarez was a double away from the cycle and scored 3 times in Houston's 7-4 win in Kansas City. Rafael Devers was 2 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBI to help Boston beat Oakland 5-2. The A's sank to 16 games under 500 with their 6th straight loss. Houston's lead in the AL West is 8.5 games over LA, 9.5 over Texas, and 11 games in front of Seattle heading into play tonight. Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox celebrate their home opener tonight against Port Angeles after losing 3 over the weekend in Bend. Despite some late game heroics by Michael Davini in yesterday's finale of the 3-game set, Wenatchee fell to Bend in 11 innings by a final of 5-4. Davini out of Coastal Carolina actually headed there, smacked a 2-run home run to left center in the top of the 9th inning for the Apple Sox to send the game into extras. Davini again came through in the 11th with a sac fly to put Wenatchee up 4-3. But Ben came back with a 2-run bottom half of the inning to walk it off for the win. Ben won the opener 15-14 after it was suspended due to darkness Friday night and then finished Saturday afternoon. The Elks took the second game Saturday 17-9. The voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has a wrap-up on the weekend and a look ahead to tonight.
Well, it was a tough road trip for the Wenatchee Apple Sox to start the season, and what a funky start it sure was as the Apple Sox swept by the Bend Elks, but 2 of those losses coming in walk-off fashion. And as you can see behind me, the Apple Sox arriving early in the morning here on Monday as they will take on the Port Angeles Lefties this evening for their home opener at 6:35. Wenatchee had leads in all 3 games, scored first in all 3 games, but just could not really hang on in all of them. The bats were going strong early on, but the pitching is a little bit behind as the Sox are still looking to get a few arms in over the next few days and hopefully add some depth to the pitching staff. Bright notes for Wenatchee over the weekend. Michael Davini from Saddleback College, who is transferring to Coastal Carolina, as well as Joichiro Oyama, a shortstop and middle infielder from Merced, who is transferring to UC Irvine. Both of them had 3-hit performances a couple of times this weekend, 3 straight days in which they had multi-hit games. So they're clicking to start the season. Davini drove in Oyama with a 2-run game-tying homer in the 9th inning with 2 outs on Sunday, but it was not enough for the Apple Sox as they would get walked off 2 innings later. So as I mentioned, the home opener tonight, and Wenatchee hoping to get head coach Mitch Darlington his first victory of the season. Hope to see you at the ballpark at 6:35 p.m. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. Amid death-defying feats by Mr. Dizzy Saturday night at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, there was also some pretty good racing on hand. Chad Holliday won his first race of the year in the Rockstar Energy B-Mods main event, finishing in front of Quincy's Glenn Knutson and Ephrata's Bart Hector Jr. By the way, happy birthday to Glenn today. Jay Evans was able to cross the finish line in first place once again with a moo car, that is, in the Plum Perfect Roadrunner main. Terry Cook was second, followed by Kyle Spalding in third place. Chad Nichols drove his number 17 WMRA Midget across the line first in the main event. Danville, California driver was able to beat out Olympia's Garrett McLeese and Snohomish's Mike Gardner. And in the finale of the night, Northwest Vintage Modifieds were the other visiting class at Wenatchee Valley on Saturday, which had Steve Woods take the checkered flag. Davin Iman was second, followed by Rick Villiard. Oval's going to be a busy place again coming up this Saturday. Dad's Night featuring the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models, Northwest Junior Late Models, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, the AMC Bandit Dwarf Cars, and the Angel Bale Bonds Bondoleros. Go to WVSO.com for more on that. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric, and welcome back. And that is going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
NCWLIFE really does a great job of exposing our brand it's a little scary at first, right? You're just throwing money out there hoping it comes back. And to see those results come back through and see people walk through the door and say, hey, saw your TV advertisement. Those are the kinds of things that you see the return on. And when you look at the cost spent, you know you're making a return on it. There's a huge market here and market potential, and they are a great avenue for that.